Maybe he's a fan of your podcast. I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
But yeah, I hate it when I accidentally like things on Facebook.
It's so embarrassing.
So what happens after you accidentally like something and then you unlike it immediately?
We should test something because like I don't know if I liked it and then unliked it, I don't know if the notification will go away.
It should be 1 minute.
Well, because there's always that like creepy one where it's like, oh yeah, so and so liked a picture of me in my bathing suit from 2017. Like, oh, you know they're going through your photos and jerking it.
Oh yeah, they're digging deep.
Somebody once told me, I don't want to use his name, I'll tell you afterwards, but he told me, he's like, yeah, once I jerked off to a picture of you, your profile picture, and I was like, okay, why would you tell me that? First of all, second of all, I'm holding my nephew.
I'm holding Eugene.
He was holding my nephew, which was even worse.
He said he jerked off to your profile picture and you were holding your nephew.
I don't know if he was joking.
But what were you wearing? Were you wearing a bathing suit and holding your nephew? Or were you just
I was naked holding my nephew.
Oh, okay. Classy shot.
It was on my OnlyFans.
Oh no. Oh, so you did, wait a minute, what did you did Rumors, right?
I did Rumors. Oh fuck, that's a fucking
fun?
Great club. Yeah. It was so much fun. You know what's really cool about Rumors is like the comics that are on the show stay and watch the show. And then they hang out and stuff like that, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. And comics like come down to watch, like it's like it shouldn't be insane. Like I shouldn't be blown away by this, but like not one person came and did a guest spot and then left right after. Like they did a guest spot and they watched the show because they have fucking respect. And everyone's like, well, it's the only show in town, and no, it's not true because We Johnny's is basically like a little mini club right now, and they just have like. I don't know, maybe it was like John Duff that was kind of, and I think Tyler actually like makes them like have a little respect and like.
Yeah, I think they have, it's just, it is slightly different. Like, the people there do tend to be more like, the comics there are like, oh, I'm going to check it out. They tend to be more like comedy fans for some reason.
Like, I guess, but I just don't,
they're
even
comics,
care.
But they're also fans of comedy.
I honestly don't even care if they even watched me. I don't care if they went out and smoked and got high in the parking lot the whole time. It's just like, oh, you stuck around, cool. Because you like want to hang out, like that's cool. Like if you do a guest spot and then leave right after, especially you don't even say, oh, like hey, it was good to see you, blah blah blah. You don't even have to thank me for the guest spot. It wasn't my idea, but like, it's so. How
did you like the digital clock?
I fucking love that.
You love the digital clock?
Yes, I know that gives you anxiety.
There's a digital clock that counts up, which is good.
I loved it.
Rather than down. I don't like down. Down is like I feel like I'm working at a chicken coop and my shift isn't over yet. But it does freak me out sometimes because sometimes I'm like, oh man, like I'm almost done, I think, and then I look up 8 minutes in. Oh my god! Like I feel like I'm out of things to say, and I'm 8 minutes into this goddamn thing.
Oh yeah, that's like that happened one night where I was like, I think it was like just the first night because I hadn't done it in like 2 weeks, so it's like when you have to do it 2 weeks, and then you're just like. I looked up and it was 30 and I'm like, what jokes haven't I told? and you have to do more time there. Like
a little bit.
He made me do, he asked me to do a couple 45 shows, like on early shows and stuff like that, but you're expected to do like between 45 and 55.
Yeah.
So it was like.
Which can get a little weird.
But it was, the crowds were so fun. Like they obviously weren't full, but they were like really fun crowds and stuff. And then of course, like as soon as you do Rumors, because it is like, I get why comics in Canada want to play this club because they treat you like an American comic.
Yeah.
They do. They pick you up. They take you back. Like, you don't have to take a cab anywhere. You don't have to take an Uber anywhere. You don't have to feel rude to ask for a ride. Like, they put me up in a nice hotel. They didn't have the condo anymore. But, like, the hotel has a very unfortunate name. The Viscount Gort.
What?
Is that, like, the worst name ever?
The Viscount Gort.
Gort. It was crazy. But it's a nice hotel. But, like, they actually, like, treat you really well. And it's just, like...
Like a human lady.
Like a human lady. It's so nice. But, yeah. And, like, it was just a fun club. And you get to do so many shows. I like doing the shows.
And you were there just 1 week, right?
Yeah,
Tuesday, Saturday, or whatever.
So, yeah, Sunday morning I left. Or Sunday evening I left. But, yeah.
Definitely get picked up in from the hotel and like, oh, hello.
And I don't even ask for it. Like, I'm just like, they're just like, yeah, someone will pick you up and someone will take you back no matter what. Like, those comics are like the most patient because, like, what if I was like this crazy, like, I'm just going to stay out and party all night? Like, I would never expect.
Yeah, can you imagine trying to enforce the Winnipeg model in Toronto.
Oh,
like,
God. Oh, God.
Or like you have to pick up the headliner and then you have to drop the headliner off after.
Oh, that would never happen.
Not a chance.
Oh, I remember when I moved to Toronto and like the first time I had a road gig, I was like, I can't remember if I wasn't driving. And then so I was like, so this is my address. And they're like, why'd you give me your address? I'm like, well, so you pick me up. He goes, no, I'm picking you up at Joyce Station. Be there this time. If you're not there, I'm fucking leaving. I'm like, wow.
Oh, yeah. Like.
And then, but when the Toronto comics come out here, they expect us to drive around.
You have to.
I don't have a license. You got to drive me around.
What time are we going to Grand Prairie? Yeah, like you couldn't be like, I'll see you there.
Yeah. Oh, God, no.
You get a call.
Oh,
right
yeah.
away. Like I used to have gigs where there'd be a headliner in we'd be going to Saskatoon. I'm from Edmonton, and the headliner would be in Calgary.
Not have to go to Calgary.
No, I wouldn't. But then I would get a call like, "What's up? What's the problem?" Like it was. I think Pete Johansson was in Calgary.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I'll see you in Saskatoon." Like, because we hadn't been in communication, and then the morning of, he's like, "Yo, what time are you gonna be here?" And I'm like, "I will not. I'm not gonna be there. Like, it'll add 6 hours to my trip, round trip." And he's like, "Yeah, oh, I don't care." You know, I think he had to take a bus or something like that, or maybe he got a rental car or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the people who booked it were like, I was the bad guy. I was the person who was doing something wrong in that scenario. So fucking crazy.
Yeah, I had an issue with a comic once where we said, well, this comic is driving, and then so you have to just let him know 2 days before what you want to do. He was headlining, and what you want to do, and then he didn't contact me. We didn't contact him. We were leaving the Thursday because I was doing a school gig the night before the club gigs. And, so we were leaving on the Thursday instead of the Friday. So he calls on Wednesday evening, be like, so, or Thursday morning, like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, we're leaving today. We didn't hear from you. We didn't know what you were doing. And then he's like, why are you leaving today? The show's don't start till... I'm like, well, I wanted to see my family, and Kathleen has a show, so we're just going early. And he goes, you're supposed to drive. He got all pissed off. He missed his train to get there, blamed it on me, said I was this evil person trying to steal his headline gigs at Yuck Yucks Ottawa. And it was just like the craziest I've never, like, to be a diva in the Canadian comedy scene is insane.
Oh, yeah.
Insane. Because by the time you're touring, mostly, almost everybody on that lineup could headline. Maybe one couldn't, but at least 2 people on that. And so, like, nobody has, like, got better ego. You can't have an ego in Canada.
Just being on the poster makes it a given that you're not a draw, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you were a draw, you're out of it.
You wouldn't be doing Yuck Yucks if you were a draw.
Even super nice guys are like, sorry, I'm just not going to do that anymore.
Or, I shouldn't say you wouldn't be doing Yuck Yucks. You'd be doing Yuck Yucks, but you'd be working with the comics you wanted to work with.
And you'd be, like, working on new material or whatever. Material night. It wouldn't be like, I'm headlining.
Yeah. So it was crazy. And then he was so mad, like, he didn't talk to me or the other comic for the whole weekend. And then I remember once I was hosting, I was very professional.
That's the most awkward thing is when you're on a 3-person show and you have to do, like, ladies and gentlemen, you're headliner tonight. We haven't spoken in... We're not on speaking terms. Here he comes.
Here's some
He's
credits.
One of the best in the business. He's done the same thing. You know.
But like, I went off stage and he goes, give it up for Precious, which was a fat joke, which was so rude. But like
Isn't it
crowd,
racist too?
I guess that would be racist too a little bit.
Racist
I don't know.
and sexist.
But so anyway, so he said that, and then like people in the crowd were like, "What the fuck?" Because they liked me. I did a good job. They liked the crowd. So the crowd doesn't know.
And you don't look like Precious. Like you're.
Well, then I was a little heavier.
I know, but you're not black, right? Isn't Precious black?
I think he just wanted. I think it was more a fat joke than any other kind of.
More important to be current fat. Right?
Yeah.
Because he couldn't go, give it up for fucking Jenna
Cardi
or
Wilson.
Rita McNeil or whatever. Because that's like a 90s fat reference. So he went with the current fat reference and just said, fuck race.
I love how your fat reference was Canadian. Keeping it Canadian. Canadian content.
We really do have some good fat references up here.
We do. We had John Pinette, who was a hilarious comedian.
Was he from Canada?
Yeah, he's Canadian.
Was he really?
Yeah, wasn't he Canadian? Yeah, John Pinette was Canadian.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he was.
And then God canceled him.
I know.
That's what
he would have liked.
That's what death is now.
It's God canceling
you.
Well, God has been canceling celebrities left, right, and center. That Naira Rivera.
A lot of cancel culture
so
up there
sad.
in heaven.
Oh my God, that was the guy from MythBusters had a brain aneurysm.
Did he really?
Yeah, there's like so many people are getting brain aneurysms. There's something fucking going on. I think COVID might have something to do with brain aneurysms. This isn't me being crazy, but that oiler at the beginning of the year died of a brain aneurysm. All these young people are dying from brain aneurysms. It's in there. It's our cell phones.
I think that's the weirdest,
right?
Well,
that's the best way to go, though. You just kind of drop. You just drop. Just bye.
Bye. See ya.
It's not an aneurysm as much as an alien sucking your soul out of your body.
Oh, really?
That's what it really is.
You think I'm weird? Oh, Sean. You're like, no, I mean, an alien just stole your life.
Wait, he was American. Sorry. Boston, Massachusetts. He died on my birthday.
Aw, that's kind of fun.
No, I don't want someone to die on my birthday.
That's fun trivia.
He died on it was 2014, so I would have been like my, 20? I don't know, I can't do math.
So when you were like, yay, he was like, ah! That's the worst part of it.
That is the worst part of it.
He was blowing out the final candle on his last cake.
I would love to die of an aneurysm. It's got to be awful for people. Well, it's better for the person dying, but not the people around you. Can you imagine that?
I should really research, because an aneurysm isn't suicide, obviously, but different ways of dying and their pain, how much they hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Because suicide's you talk to people about jumping off a bridge and they're like, yeah, basically you're just floating down alive with organ failure. You don't die, you're floating you're underwater, still alive, and everything hurts too much to move, so you drown.
Oh, that sounds awful. Have you heard people have jumped off the high level bridge and they got stuck in mud? So
yeah, I told you about that.
You told me that.
That was Bob Layton that told me that. I'm Bob Layton.
I'm Bob Layton.
Hi there. He's a weird Mormon. He said something, talking about canceled. He would get canceled for his little rants nowadays.
Oh, yeah. I wonder
if you could Google. Rants. He did something where he's like, and he pulled her out of the elevator and batted 300 on her face. That was one of the things he told us. That was a funny line of his, that he batted 300 on his girlfriend.
What does that even mean?
It means that he missed 7 out of 10 times. He missed her face when he was trying to hit her.
That's a very specific.
I know, it's a fun baseball reference.
Yes.
And then he batted 300 on her face. And I was like, oh, wow.
Oh, okay, all right.
Swing and a miss. Bingo, double off the wall.
Oh my God, terrible.
So that was one of his things.
Yeah, there's some people that probably would be getting canceled.
Do you think comedians should be canceled?
I guess it depends on how nice they are.
Yeah, you're right.
Chris D'Elia is pretty much, because everyone's like, nobody liked him. He's a wiener to everybody. But
he'll be able to float back into the game, don't you think?
Maybe.
Because his problem was more of of course it was awful. But at the same time, he just had access to a bunch of women. Yeah. And eventually you're going to fly a little too close to the sun there.
The teenage sun.
Yeah, exactly. So I think when guys see the Chris D'Elia thing, they're always going to think, I could see that happening to me. If you're a guy with access to a bunch of women, some of them are going to be 17 eventually. Yeah. How many times have I been to a bar with a good-looking guy in his 50s, 40s, 30s? They always go home with the youngest girl. Oh, yeah. They always go home with the girl who's 21. They're not going back, that's the great thing about being a good-looking man in your 40s is you never lose access to the 21-year-olds.
To the teenage son.
Yeah. You don't want to fly too close to it.
No. But you want to get to it.
Asking for IDs is awkward. You know what I mean? If you're Chris D'Elia, that's a deal breaker, right?
Can you send me a picture of your ID, please? Oh my God. That just shows you're a little fucked up.
I knew a guy in Edmonton who was a fun radio DJ in Edmonton who had an alert on his phone for when girls that he was interested in turned 18.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
He would find out hey, when do you
That's disgusting.
He'd ask for their ID and they'd be like, huh? And then he would put it in his phone so that
Is this the one that I would know?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he'd get an alert on his phone Sandra is 18, and then he would hey Sandy, happy birthday.
Gross. Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm
Good
not kidding.
Fucking God. There's a reason that he left us down.
Oh yeah.
But it's radio is like the Catholic Church, right? They just take an offender and they move him to a different city and give him a job somewhere else.
Radio is one of those things too where you can really abuse people because, if you're in a position of power in radio, how many girls graduate from a broadcasting and then they're like, I want to work at the blah, blah. And then you can be like, you know what? I'm bringing you on board. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of ways you can mess with people.
That is true.
Because you know you're lucky. Like, if you're a young girl who just got out of broadcasting school and suddenly you're working at a major market radio station doing whatever task, you know you're lucky, and they're reminding you all the time, like,
you better do everything we tell you to do. Because there's 20 other people behind you waiting for this job. That's true.
And that still exists today.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, like power dynamic. Absolutely. And radio is so much like comedy because it's like you don't make money doing radio. Like until you like hit like a higher level like of radio, then you start making money. But if like a newer radio DJ, you're not making a ton of money.
Nothing.
Unless you like prove yourself to be like an asset to the station.
And even then, how do you do that? You could be a great DJ, but if you're on like Fort McMurray Classics talking about farm reports and stuff, how do you like, hey, look at, here's my, I'm good at this.
And wasn't it like Lori Gibbs, who does radio in Calgary, that told us that if you get more hate mail, they love it. They want you to get a little bit of hate.
But who could do that?
That's awful. Like, like I can't imagine, like I get annoyed, and I'm pretty good at just having like the nice people. I don't have a lot of people coming and finding me because of my comedy and then like being weird and fuck you.
I think that's what some people don't understand is like when they're complaining about somebody, they don't realize like, the people that pay them like that. Yeah. So if you go on some page and you're like, we need to cancel this fucking DJ, like the company's not like, oh my god,
controversy, someone's listening.
They're like, perfect.
They're gonna keep listening to find out.
The only people who take that shit seriously are like the CBC. Like if you're doing like, they'll read.
That's hilarious. When Gian Gomeshi is one of the most horrifying examples of everybody ignoring.
But he was worth money. So he's in a totally different.
I know, it's all that sphere. Moxie Frubis.
All that Moxie Frubis.
All that Moxie Frubis.
Cash.
I just.
Well, he was on another. He was worth money.
Yeah.
Right. But if you work for CBC and your opinions are not worth cash, and they're like, hey, we just got a letter. Please stop that.
Please stop that. Please don't talk about
one letter? Yeah, we got one letter. It was well worded. There were no spelling errors. Clearly, you're in the wrong.
Yeah, I used to want to do radio. I would still, like, if someone was like, hey, Sean and Kathleen, come do morning radio, we should do it, okay?
Yeah, well, and then people would be like, you were supposed to throw it to a song 8 minutes ago!
I'd be like, music?
Music? I don't think we should do that. Well, talk radio, I mean, that, you can do okay in talk radio.
Yeah, like, in Edmonton, 630 Chad Ryan Jesperson, he's awesome, and the best part about it is he's, like, very left center. Like, he's not, like, he still will agree with some of the things on the right, but he is, like, because most of 630 Ched is a very right, rural listening community.
Well, they've been pulled, like, they used to have Dave Rutherford, like, they used to be super right-wing.
Yeah, and now Jesperson's, like, he brings in the middle, and he will answer, like, these tweets will be like, you're such a cuck, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, for sure.
But he responds to them all, and he's like, thanks. So, like, barely I'm getting to you, which is awesome. Like, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
And now they're getting listeners from the left, so it's like, the radio station's like, well, we're not losing listeners because we're gaining others.
Yeah, if you're Ched, 630 Ched is basically like a talk radio station in Edmonton that is designated for older right-of-center people.
Yeah.
It's really the only place they can go to get their information told their way. But yeah, I mean, at some point, the bosses at whatever chorus or whatever the fuck would be like, these old people are dying.
We need some new people listening. Yeah.
Somebody who's because I mean, you if you're a right wing, I mean, Dave Rutherford, fuck, I remember like listening to him on 630 Ched, and he would just bash any left wing politician. Like, it was just open season. It was like Fox News. It was like Radio Fox News when his show was on. Yeah. It was pretty crazy. Yeah, I think that Ryan Jesperson does a good job of like finding it from each side. I've always like thought he's good at that. He used to be on the breakfast television show, and I do sometimes he'd let me come on, and one time I went on and he's like, can you like do something, let's do something fun, I guess, because he's like, I'm not just gonna sit and interview you, I'm tired of doing that. So I was like, well, why don't I give you a hangover cure? So I went to the dollar store and I just bought a bunch of shit, like just whatever, a bunch of shit, and I brought it with me, and so I just made a hangover cure on air while he interviewed me, and it was just like, I put coffee, I put orange juice, I put marshmallow fluff, and then I put like an egg, I put a bunch, it was disgusting, right? And then he was getting emails like, how about don't drink? My husband died from that. Like, it's weird how disconnected people can be from reality. Yeah, it's crazy. But then so I blended it, and we had to drink it, and that I almost threw up on air. He almost threw up on air. It was disgusting. You never tried it before?
No, I just was throwing random shit in, like, as a joke. And I'm like, let's put in carrots, let's put in... And then this stuff helps with this and
You're
this.
blending ibuprofen.
It's a joke. Yeah, it's a total joke. And then, we both... And I swore on that. I said shit or something by accident. It's the only time usually I'm pretty good on those, like, TV spots where I'm like, I don't swear, but I did say shit or something, and I was like, oh!
Yeah, that's the only... I try to... My kid swears sometimes, and I'll try...
Your oldest or your youngest?
Oldest. It's like 11.
Yeah, what is his favorite swear word?
Fuck.
Oh, of course. That's a good one to start with.
Fuck. So he's playing video games and going, fuck!
Well, is he playing with other
stop.
kids?
Yeah, he's playing with other kids, and he's got his headset on, so they're swearing, obviously, all the time.
Yeah.
You know, but fuck! And I'm like, stop saying that. Like, you can't just say that word in here. Like, it's just a word.
It's not, like, as bad as it used to be, though. Like, I feel like it's not. I feel like it's more, fuck has become the new shit.
I can't. Fuck's the new shit.
Because shit is nothing anymore.
And then what's the new fuck?
Cunt? Maybe? Or...
Yeah, I guess so.
Motherfucker? I don't know.
Cunt is still a strong one. Depends who says cunt. Right?
And the context of what it's used for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you call someone a dumb cunt, then that's rude.
Yeah, if Daryl Mack calls you a cunt.
Oh, yeah. Remember the cunt off at the Rocky Mountain Comedy Festival?
There was a cunt off?
Between Stu Hughes and Daryl Max in the parking lot.
Oh, did
they fought? And it was just literally 5 minutes of them screaming, cunt! At each other, like back, you're a cunt! No, you're a cunt! No, you're a fucking cunt! You're a cunt! Cunt, cunt, cunt! It was hilarious.
Typical comedian fight.
It was hilarious.
Typical comedian fight.
I had a cunt joke early on, and I remember, like, one comic pulled me aside. He goes, you are never going to get corporate work with that kind of material. I'm like, okay.
And then you cried.
I cried so hard.
I want to get... Like 2 years in, you're never going to get corporate work. That's like getting into acting and somebody seeing your audition tape and being like, you're never going to do commercial work. Yeah. Like, well, I don't want to do I don't want to sell plates.
Yeah, and he suggested that I change it to asshole. Because the joke was like, this guy came up and said, I don't mean to be a cunt, but you're beautiful. And then I would say, you had me at cunt. But if you asshole, it doesn't hit as well. It's not funny anymore.
Hey, you need to tone that down to get corporates. Okay. And then how do you tone that down? Like, you know.
Yeah.
I don't mean
or jerk. Say jerk.
I don't mean to be a dick.
Yeah.
You had me. I guess you could do dick, right? Because then you had me a dick. So that's your corporate version.
Yeah, I guess
you love dick.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't mean to be a dick, but you're beautiful. You had me at dick. And then you could do this, like a cocksucking motion with your hand.
Like, you can do that at corporates?
Oh, for sure you can.
You can mime cocksucking? You just can't say it.
Because then if anybody's like, that's disgusting, you could be like, it was spaghetti.
I was drinking.
It was spaghetti, you fucking idiot. I was miming eating spaghetti.
Like I eat spaghetti like this.
Oh my god. Those are fun, the Christian ladies at the corporates.
Oh, no, thank you. I don't want to do corporates.
Do you have any big comedy shows coming up? Any big career changes?
No career changes.
I'm at the comic strip in Edmonton this weekend.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's exciting.
Huge news.
I'm in Saskatchewan for one night.
Really? What are you doing there?
A show at some hotel that's haunted.
Whoa, where's that?
Milton or Minden or
is it like a small
Mayburn.
Town?
Yeah, something Saskatchewan. 5 hours away.
Was it Weyburn?
Not Weyburn.
Not Weyburn?
No,
Minburn?
Minden.
There's a Minburn, I think.
My head. I don't know.
There's
an elbow. My grandma was born in eyebrow or elbow.
There's probably like
was she born in the
town
eyebrow?
called Jesus Dick too.
Jesus Dick, Saskatchewan.
Where the fuck did they get the names from?
I don't know. I gotta look up the name of this town. What is the name of? I know.
Who are you doing that with?
Benjamin Baus, Eston.
Oh, Esteban.
Eston. E-S-T-O-N.
Oh, Eston.
Eston.
Yeah,
I've been in Esteban. That's where the beef baron, or no, that's where the beef bar is or something. That's in Esteban. That's where I have a show. I'm standing in front of a sign that says the beef something and featuring Kathleen McGee.
Esteban was that was the site of the worst show I ever did. I don't know
really?
if I ever talked about it on
No, let's hear about this.
Well, it was a Christmas party for an oil and gas company in Esteban.
Yeah.
And the night before, I was there for 2 nights, and the night before, like, I did well, so I had like some confidence of like, oh, how bad could this be?
Yeah.
And then I went up there, and the guy, you know, this baby was, first of all, they didn't know what I was talking about. Like, I would do a joke, and then they wouldn't laugh. And I'd be like, oh boy, this is going to be a grind. And then I keep going, and then a baby started crying.
Oh no.
And then I started treating the baby like he was heckling me.
Oh my god, that's hilarious!
So I was like, hey, look, I didn't write that joke for babies. Okay, you don't like it. That's fine. Anybody in your demographic wouldn't care for it. And then that was getting like some laughs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And then it would cry again. And then I would do it again. I would like, hey, look, you know, if you don't like it, just there's the door. You can get out of here. You know, tell that fucking baby to leave. And then so it's working. And then the father stands up, father of the baby, and is like, stop talking to my daughter.
Oh my God.
Like freaked out.
Oh my God.
And then and he was like the boss of the company.
That's why the baby was there. Of course he would bring
the whole crowd shut down for the rest of my set. And then afterwards it was put on by a golf course or something.
Yeah.
So the staff was there, and afterwards I was like, well, that was rough. Anyways, Merry Christmas. And they were like, yeah.
Merry Christmas to you. You ruined Christmas.
No, they didn't say Merry Christmas.
They didn't?
They would not tell me to have a Merry Christmas. That's how much they hated me.
Wow, that's really rude.
Because I was going around like, Merry Christmas. And they were like,
good night.
Like it's the most reflex thing in the world. Merry Christmas to you too.
Why were you going around saying Merry Christmas
if Hitler said Merry Christmas,
your worst set ever?
Like, well, I guess I would. I don't know. I think I wanted to make sure everything. I would try to smooth everything over as much as I could, but there was no.
I escaped out the back door after my very first set. I'm like, bye, but I don't want to look at anybody, talk to anybody.
Yeah, I don't. I have to. I usually do like if I do well, I leave. Like I'll be like, thank you, bye.
Yeah.
If I do really bad, then I hover.
What?
Well, just because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to talk to the person and fix this as much as I can. But I don't do that as much anymore.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't work.
Oh, you do not want to hang around, no.
Like, sometimes they'll go and do a show and they'll be like, oh, we had so-and-so last year and he did really bad. But it was because of the pillars and that, like, and they start listing off things that obviously the comedian who the previous year had mentioned were reasons why they bombed.
Yeah.
They'd be like, yeah, he didn't do very well, but because we have like 3 pillars here that people can't see through, and then the lighting.
Oh my God,
and
that's
I'm like,
hilarious.
And I'm like, who told you that? And they're like, well, he did. And I'm like, yeah, after the show? Yes. And I'm like, yeah, nobody pre-show is like, these pillars are going to be a problem. Yeah.
Nobody pre-shows pillars.
I don't know. Can we get rid of these fucking things that are holding the roof?
The bar was called the Blackbeard Restaurant. Love it. And it was the Beef Bar.
Oh, okay.
The Beef Bar. Featuring Kathleen McGee.
Beef Bar with Kathleen McGee.
That's one of my favorite signs. My other favorite sign was Schnitzel Night, huge, and then comedian Kathleen McGee. I was second billing to Schnitzel.
Well, the funniest one was doing Fort McMurray in the beginning when you do, like, you know, it still sucks. Like, that Bailey's Pub Roast is garbage. But, like, when I first started doing it, people would stay outside during comedy. Like, they'd be, like, lining up in the hallways waiting for karaoke to start.
Oh, my God.
But if they tried to get in during comedy, somebody would be like, $10, please.
Oh, yeah, they had to pay.
But so now it's become, like, it is a comedy night and there is karaoke, but it's a blend, or the karaoke people know when to go now.
Yeah.
But for a while, they would go, like, it's my karaoke night, and then they would go, and it'd be like, $10 comedy. I ain't fucking going to comedy.
Yeah.
So you would literally have, like, 8 or 10 people inside the venue and 40 outside.
That's hilarious.
Waiting to get in for karaoke.
Karaoke was the headliner.
And then when you were like, thank you, good night, and then you put the mic on, the door opens, 40 people come in, like, yeah!
The karaoke DJ comes in with his setup, it's all ready to go. Did you ever do karaoke DJing?
No.
Before I did comedy, I was like, that'd be fun to do, and then I'm glad I never did it.
Well, because I can't sing.
Oh,
so I could never be like, come on, guys. Hey.
That'd be hilarious if you were
looking. What you got cooking? As about singing a few more songs for me.
Now I want you to be a karaoke.
Hey, sweet lady.
Oh my God.
Maybe. I guess that would be one of my go-to songs.
You know what? Everyone has a go-to.
Take me to a funky town.
In Toronto at the Gladstone Hotel, they always had this like karaoke night that was really fun, and the guy had like applause sign. Like the host was like this old dude, he'd wear a tuxedo. It was really fun. And then this guy that looked like he could have been in Journey would come and leave. He'd come in, sing, everyone would go crazy, and it'd be like, going back to my
There was this lady that used to do karaoke night in Fort Saskatchewan, and she would stand behind one of the speakers and sing.
Yeah.
She was so shy.
But she just wanted to sing.
She would come in the back door and then stand behind a giant speaker and then take the mic and go, ooh.
What was her go-to sing
Who
song?
gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Something about feelings and stuff. And she had like the voice of an angel, and everyone's like, well, who is that coming from?
Oh.
And then she would give the microphone back, and then she would walk out.
That's so cute.
Didn't even have a fucking glass of water.
Do you remember
Everybody was clapping but the owner.
Yeah, the owner's like, fuck this bitch. Do you remember that we used to go to Sidetrack when it was at the old Sidetrack too, like when we did their open mic on Mondays and music open mic, and there was that older lady, she had like blunt bangs, gray silver hair, and she would come and she would just like skip around the dance floor, and she was like my favorite human being. I wish I knew more about her because she would just like not even like la la la, but she would do this weird like dance move, like kickball change but moving. And she was the best. And she would just come and dance. And like, she was like...
That was a weird night. Yeah, there'd be like people singing, people beatboxing.
Yeah, and then we're like, can we do comedy? And then they would be like, 3 comics and that's it. No more. But he was always good to us.
I've been to karaoke nights where the karaoke DJ couldn't sing.
Yeah.
And it was like, oof, this is rough. Like, because it's just songs playing.
Yeah.
So people just think it's a DJ. Like, if you're doing karaoke, you have to be like, I ain't a DJ, watch this. Hey! You know?
Good looking.
Because if you're a karaoke guy who's not singing, to entice people.
Yeah.
And I guess you can be bad at singing, but you can't be, like, as bad as I am. You know?
Or
you gotta be, like, comically, like, oh.
You're comically bad.
I'm comically
bad?
You're
comically bad.
Okay.
You're not like, ow, my ear's bad.
Ouch.
You're funny. Like, look at this guy singing, hey, good looking again.
Sing, hey, sweet lady. It takes me back to my old yodeling days. I used to be a yodeler, Kathleen. When I was in grade 7, I had a part in a play called Tumbleweeds.
Are you for real?
Yeah, and my name was Trooper Dimbleby.
Of course you played a cop. Of course you played the cop.
Trooper Dimbleby. And my song was, we're marching off to Grammy Gulch, and this is the way we go. 40 miles a day on beans and hay in a regular army. Oh.
Wow.
That was my song.
But isn't yodeling more like...
No, that's racist.
What you just did is horrific.
That's against the Dutch people.
No, I think it's Arab.
Arab people? No, I wasn't doing that.
Oh, you weren't doing.
No, I just don't know how to yodel. Oh. I wasn't trying to make fun of Arab people. I was trying to yodel, but my tongue was moving.
Yeah, it's your yodeling sounds like an ISIS behead celebration. Post white guy head. I jerked off to your profile picture. Some ISIS princess holding a white guy's head.
Oh my god!
Sorry, but I did jerk off to that photograph.
I just want to let you know.
You holding an American soldier's face.
Who would admit to jerking off to somebody?
That's a tough one. Well, he was obviously hoping you'd be like, oh my god, that's so hot, and then have sex with him.
Yeah, that's so hot. Maybe I should make your dreams come true. Do you want to hold my nephew while you fuck me?
Sorry, yeah, well, no, I think, who would hold the nephew?
I don't know. No one, all right? I don't think no one will hold my poor nephew.
If you had to hold a baby during sex, what would...
I'm creeped out when pregnant people have sex. Like, I know it's fine.
There's not many go-to positions for baby holding sex.
Well, I guess you could be doing it doggy style and then have the baby on its back, and you could be like entertaining the baby.
Yeah, so the guy's doing doggy style and holding the baby. Yeah.
I like that the guy's holding it.
The guy has
That's progressive, Sean.
It is.
I like that. I was assuming that the woman would have to hold this baby.
Or if you were a girl who was like, this baby shouldn't see this, you could just do reverse cowgirl.
I just find... Have you ever had sex when Jessica was pregnant?
While she was pregnant?
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you? Don't you have...
It would creep... I just think it's so...
While you're pregnant?
Yeah, because your baby's head's right here and your dick's like right here.
Oh, there's plenty of space. I'm not at all worried about poking an eye out.
We're not in the back of the cervix. We're not even close to that area. Oh my god.
No. The baby would be like, what? When did that happen?
It's just weird to me that, I mean, I know it's natural and normal and I'm being weird about it, but like, also I've heard that if you are like overly pregnant, what's that called? Overly pregnant?
Yeah. Too pregnant. If you're too pregnant is just you have a baby inside you.
Yeah, but I heard that if you're like a week, you're supposed to have the baby a week and you still haven't had it, you're supposed to have sex and you're supposed to come inside
it can induce labor.
It can induce labor.
Gross.
Those little sperm, they're doing work.
Couldn't you just put fucking lubricant in there? You tell me semen is the only liquid that can do the job?
Well, I think so, because I've never heard you can just fill her with Vaseline and she'll go
fill her up with some kind of fucking lubricant.
Lubricant?
if I was a woman, I would be like, I guess I better fuck this guy because I need semen 3 inches inside me. Like, no thanks. I'll just fucking, I'd lube it up.
Well, she allowed that to get into that state.
I guess. I don't think semen's the only thing that could work.
Well, what else would work? I just feel like I've never heard...
When have you ever needed a liquid and thought put semen at the top of your list?
Well, never. Because I've never been a mother.
My engine oil's low.
Could you just fuck my engine, please? I need about 10 liters of cum to make it go.
I don't know if this is how thick is your semen? No, I don't think, you don't need to worry. You'll never be pregnant.
No, I won't. I'm too old now.
No, you haven't gone through menopause.
No, but I'm 39 years old. Do you know, this is what I realized I was in Winnipeg.
Wait a minute, can I ask you a question?
Can I ask you a
question? If you get if you get your period early as a girl, do you go through menopause earlier too?
I don't know, because I got my period really young, grade 5.
You could be ready for the pause button.
I don't want to be paused yet, though.
Wouldn't you like to be?
It'd be nice to never get your period ever again. But then what happens? Don't you get all hot all the time when you're in menopause?
Well, just during that little weird period where your body's adjusting hormonally, I guess, and then you get used to it.
I don't know. I just
Wouldn't you rather not bleed again?
I mean, now that I found the Diva Cup, it's like I don't have a period anymore.
Oh God, Diva Cup.
It's changed the game.
But somebody has to take it out.
Me.
Yeah.
I'm not asking others, hey, could you please take my Diva Cup out?
But once you don't bleed and you have menopause, do you still have because the PMS, you don't have PMS, so you're not emotional and hormonal and angry.
Well, you're just emotional for other reasons.
Yeah, but it's not on a schedule anymore. It's for real reasons.
It's all over the place.
Because that's the worst thing about being a woman is you're like, I'm fucking really mad about that.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Am I really mad about that? It's kind of my time to be mad about everything.
I was really mad the other day because we got a hose in our backyard and we didn't have a thing to wind it up. So we just basically have been using it so much and it was just all over the place and all tangled and I was so pissed off and I was yelling at Adam this is supposed to be a kink-free hose and this is bullshit. And I'm like, now we gotta straighten it all out. And I was like, why am I so angry about this hose? And then Adam he's like, I'm leaving, and he came back with a hose reel. which reinforces my bad behavior. So he's a bad girlfriend trainer. He's a bad girlfriend trainer. He's
a bad girlfriend trainer. What'll make you happy right now?
That's all.
Okay, let's get ice cream.
Yeah. That's what I'd be like as a parent though. Let's get ice cream. Let's make you happy right now. No, but do you know that if you're over 35, do you know what they call that pregnancy? Geriatric.
A geriatric pregnancy?
Over 35 years old, a geriatric pregnancy. I'm like, that sounds like you're a 9-year-old woman.
More systemic misogyny.
It is.
Cancel science.
Everything is getting old though. I'm feeling.
I don't know why that has to be considered a geriatric pregnancy.
Right? I guess it's more high risk or something. I don't know. But I know more women are having, didn't Janet Jackson have a baby at 50? It's a possible.
Oh yeah, it's way, I think even if you had a baby now, it wouldn't be dangerous.
It's not even about getting pregnant. It's the fact that I don't want to look after a toddler when I'm 42.
No.
That sounds like a nightmare to me.
Yeah.
I'd rather get a puppy.
You'd be too tired to do comedy. You'd be able to do comedy, but you'd be like, I don't want to do it.
I'm not driving. I can't.
Aston, Saskatchewan.
No, I'm not doing that.
Aston, Saskatchewan.
Yeah, no, I would never do that.
Benjamin, hey man, is there anybody else available? I had a really rough night with the newborn. You wouldn't want to fucking go do it. You can't take a newborn on the road. You can take Eugene.
Yeah. And
Dottie.
Yeah, but it is also a mess sometimes. But
how are they liking their new yard?
They fucking love it. It's so cute. Oh my god, I don't know if I should tell you guys this. Well, I told
racist?
You guys. No, it makes me a bad doggy mom.
Okay, this is perfect.
Eugene ate one of my pot cookies.
From where?
I didn't mean to have it on my bedside table. It was in a bag, and then I was going through stuff to find something.
So he got on your bedside table and ate a cookie right off of your bedside table?
Yeah, it's next to my bed. He jumped on the bed, and then he was like, oh, hello, and he pulls...
Ate the whole thing?
We went grocery shopping, and I come home, and we're unloading groceries, and I look over, and there's a literal pool of brown vomit.
Oh, he puked.
Oh, yeah. Huge. And I'm like, what the fuck did you eat? It looked like it had chocolate in it. And I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is that? And I couldn't figure it out. So I put him outside. And he's sitting in the sun
Nights in white satin.
He's sitting in the sun, just
never reaching the end.
So then I go upstairs and I find the empty bag. And I'm like, I start crying. And I'm like,
I like how my favorite part of the story is that you start crying.
I felt so awful because I've killed my dog. My dog was gonna die. I've killed him because there was chocolate.
And we had just come off a thing where little dogs. You gotta be careful with little dogs.
Yes. And so I texted my cousin who's a veterinarian, and I'm like, my dog is Eugene ate a cookie and he's so high right now, and he was so high. She's like, you just can't leave him alone. You can't put him near stairs. He's gonna have a crazy afternoon. And you just have to let him ride it out. If he threw up already, he's gonna be okay.
It actually might be the best thing that ever happens to him.
He is really chill now.
Well, and
he's
also
chilled the fuck out.
Also, he's gonna be like, maybe I shouldn't be eating people's food because that could fuck you up.
Oh, I'll show you a video of him. We had a video of him. We played Stairway to Heaven for him.
Were his pupils dilated? Was he?
Oh yeah, like he had saucer eyes, and he was just like. Oh, I felt, because I kept him like.
Was he barking slowly?
No, but he couldn't walk. Like he was like.
Yeah, well, he's a corgi.
Like no, more than normal. He couldn't walk. It was a very bad move on his mother's part, but.
So what did Adam do to rectify that situation?
He just sat with him.
Oh wow, he looks fried. But his eyes are huge. They don't get squinty eyes from it.
No, they get bigger eyes.
Yeah, his eyes are bigger. His eyes are fucking huge.
He's seeing shit.
For the first time.
He's seeing
That's
shit
his
for the first time.
And he puked right away.
Hard. Like, the most puke I've ever seen. More than Donnie's puke.
Did he look guilty when you came in? Like,
no, he didn't. Like, and then, like, because I was unloading groceries, and I turned around, I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh my god, who puked? And then I realized it was Eugene. He must have gotten into something. That's my diagnosis from...
That's Dr. Kathleen.
That's Dr. Kathleen. And then I found out what he got into. It's a lot easier when you know what they got into to decide what you're going to do.
How many milligrams was it?
It was about 20 to 25.
Because he vomited up a bunch of it.
He did.
Right?
He did. And it was more than the weed. It was the chocolate that I was worried about.
Imagine if he didn't puke.
Well, then I would have had to take him to the vet and make him puke. Because my cousin's like, if he hasn't puked, you have to give him like some castor oil or something to make him throw up. And I'm like, fuck, I can't do something like that. And then, but yeah, so like if he didn't puke, then I would have had to die. But I told him like, no, he puked a ton. And she's like, now he's just gonna be high.
Clinic and being like,
But everybody says this happens all the time.
Oh, for sure it does. Yeah.
All the time, and I felt guilty.
That's why edibles are still sort of like
bad,
a gray area.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like it's not fully sort of like, make them and eat them.
I felt so bad, but like those cookies are great. I took one and went to the Winnipeg Zoo, and I had the best fucking day of my life. Walking around, didn't puke, just walking around this zoo, high as a kite. I looked at the stingrays for like 5 minutes. Oh, this was the best.
Imagine if you weighed 15 pounds and that happened.
I know, that's a bit, a lot more. 12, a lot more.
He's 12 pounds.
Yeah, he's 12 pounds, maybe 13. But like, this is totally off topic of Eugene, but I was going into the butterfly exhibit at the zoo, and there was a volunteer there who clearly he was autistic, and he was explaining the butterflies and everything. And so this lady was in front of me with her daughter, and he's telling her what to do when you get in, and then she goes, oh, he's like, there's not as many butterflies because we only have we haven't brought any butterflies in. And then she goes, well, what happens to the butterflies that were there last year? He's like, they're dead. And I was like, I love this kid so fucking.
Did he work there?
Yeah, he was like a volunteer.
Okay.
He was like,
sometimes when somebody says like, oh, he's autistic, I think like, maybe he just came to the zoo one day and he knew a bunch of butterflies. And
no.
Like,
he had like a vest on. He had like, he worked or volunteered at the zoo. But he was I love how literal.
Yeah.
I love how literal he was. And then like, I was standing right there. It is fun. And they're just like the nicest, kindest people too. Anyway, but like.
When things are dead, they'll tell you they're dead.
Yeah. And
they don't say they passed away.
No, they're like, no, they're dead.
They moved to another. And also, what a dumb question.
I know.
You're an adult asking a kid, where do the old
butterflies go? Well, he was a kid. He was probably like in his 20s.
Yeah, but when you're autistic, you're always a kid.
I guess you have like, yeah. But like, oh my god, I loved this kid. And then I was standing like right there the whole time. I heard his entire spiel. Clearly I heard it. And then I start to walk in. He goes, no, I think, well, but I start to walk in. He's like, I have to tell you stuff about it. I'm like, oh, I heard. And she goes, I have to tell you. And I'm like, okay. So I sat through his little spiel again, and it was really fun. And he's like, do you understand? He's like, I'm like, yeah, thank you. He was
They're dead.
He was a good kid. We got to.
You realize it was less the question and more like that. They're dead. Don't you get it? They're dead.
Yeah. Don't you understand what I'm trying to tell you? They are dead. This one's called Frogger. We could win up to 50,000.
We're never gonna fucking do it.
You know what else I discovered in Winnipeg? Bidets.
Like,
not the old-fashioned ones, but like the new ones where you just put it on your toilet and it's like this little.
I'd like to see a reverse bidet where shit shoots into water.
Why?
I don't know, it'd just be fun if it was more shit. I wouldn't mind tripping up a bidet and then having like you're shitting and then more shit.
Yeah.
Like the shit that you just took, fucking just right back into your ass. You think the world deserves this? Here, you fucking take it. You know? I don't know.
That's not hygienic.
The world needs more of that.
Have you ever used one of those? Like, my friend, they had one from Amazon, but my friend has one called a Tushy, and she says it's great because it can be either hot or cold water. This one could only shoot cold. And it was at this person's house, and I'm like, I yelled down to them, I'm like, you guys have one of these things? They're like, yeah, use it. I'm like, I don't know if I want to use someone else's asshole cleaner. And then I was just, my curiosity got the better of me, and I was like, I turned it on very low, and I was like, ah! And then I was like, how high does it go? And I'm like,
you don't like anal.
I don't like anal.
Water, penis, anything, right?
Well, water, I don't mind, I guess.
Huh.
I enjoyed myself in the water.
Get out of there, water. Wrong hole, water.
Just slapping the water away.
Get that stream out of here, you sick fuck.
It's not your birthday water. Fuck off.
Wrong hole, water.
I told you 1,000,000 times I don't do it that way.
I don't like that.
I don't do it that way. But yeah, they're the best. It feels like you put it, it's so refreshing. It feels like you put a tic-tac up your bum.
Do you need toilet paper after it, or?
You can dab, but you don't, it's not a necessity. Like, if you didn't have toilet paper, it'd be fine. You'd be totally cool. You wouldn't need it.
You're just a more positive person than me, you know? I was talking to somebody about that, like, because you're positive. Just like
who were you talking to about me?
some guy. He had a bunch of pictures of you and stuff, but we got to chatting, and it was like, I was like, because Kathleen lives like more positive. Like you're on, you know, if there's like a happiness scale, like,
yeah,
your resting happiness rate is like a 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Out of whatever you want it to be.
Even,
mine is like a 0.
Even if I'm depressed, I'm still happier.
Yeah, like I'm always thinking something terrible is going to happen to protect myself against the disappointment that eventually will come. So like you're at a 3, so 95% of our lives are spent at our resting worry rate. Yeah. And we get to decide what that is. Yeah. We get to decide if we're worried or not worried. So I decide like I'm really worried and I'm waiting for everything to everybody to die and stuff. And you're like, people don't die. But then when something bad happens, you go way down. I don't go down as far as you when something bad happens. But then when I bounce back up, I'm just bouncing up to my resting
I bounce up to happiness.
Shitty disappointment rate, you know? So it's better to be you.
It's better to be me.
Because the disappointments hit harder. Yeah. You know? And then you're expecting things to be good. So then when they are good, it's just a little bit good because you actually thought it was going to be good. Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of little mini micro disappointments when you're positive. Yeah. Because you're expecting everything to be so good. But I still think you're living better.
Oh, well, I expect to win $50,000 right now.
It's not going to happen.
Let's see who's right. Let's see who's right. Yeah, Sean's right. Fuck this world.
See how disappointing you are?
Fuck this world. Yeah, and Sean's just like, whatever.
I like how I can see. Told you we weren't going to win $50,000 on a $5 scratch and win.
$3. I didn't even get a $5 today. I just chose Frogger.
I'm going to pretend that I'm actually, somewhat clairvoyant. Yeah. No chance. Yeah. Frogger went up to $50,000.
So you're at the comic strip this weekend in Edmonton.
Comic strip, bringing it hard.
Bringing it hard all weekend long.
Unless somebody cancels me.
No one's gonna ever cancel you, Sean. You have nothing to cancel.
You're right.
That's the best part.
That's how pathetic I am.
No, it's not about pathetic. It's just like you never want to get to
There's not much to cancel.
You don't want to get to that success where being canceled is an actual threat to your livelihood.
Yeah, or stuff from your past or whatever. I guess if we were successful, somebody could dig through this podcast. Think about the things you said, Kathleen.
Oh, I don't remember half the shit I say. I'm high half the time doing this.
We would just delete all of it. Like if you had any kind of like heat or anything, it'd be like, let's take that podcast and throw it in the fucking trash. It doesn't exist anymore. Because people would go back and be like, oh, Kathleen got that show? That's bullshit. Because I listened to some of her podcasts and there was a lot of naughtiness.
Oh, You either cancel or you die. Either or, they're both not great things.
Menopause.
Menopause. Why is it called menopause?
Why can't it be called girlopause?
Why can't it be called ladyopause? Womanopause, woman spelled with an X.
Geriatric pregnancy.
Isn't that horrible?
That's hilarious. Just your pussy shooting out wheelchairs.
I'm just a 90-year-old woman giving birth to a 52-year-old man. Like, what does that mean? Fucking bullshit. I gotta go sell tacos.
Oh yeah, I forgot about your taco selling days.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
thanks for the podcast. Thanks for being on my podcast.
Thanks for being on my podcast.
Thanks for being on Wendy's daughter. Don't call me Wendy's daughter. See, that's what I would do if I was a karaoke guy. Is I would make like little changes to the songs to make everyone giggle.
Everybody does that.
Yeah, they're called parodies.
Yeah, I know.
I know that.
Thanks, Weird Al. Weird Al LaComber.
Normal Al. Normal Al LaComber.
Normal Al Yankovic Comber.
Oh no, go sell a taco. See ya.
Bye.